Welcome to Brooks Camp in Katmai National Park and Preserve. Katmai National Park protects one of the highest densities of bears in the world. This means that you'll be sharing habitat with many wild brown bears. Even though these bears may look tough, they are also very vulnerable.
Their survival depends on gaining enough weight during the warmer months to make it through winter.
This is one of the only places where solitary brown bears tolerate being so close to each other. And they do this so they can feast on the all-you-can-catch salmon buffet.
In the early summer, the bears catch salmon swimming upstream to spawn. But in the fall, the bears become more reliant on dead and dying salmon.
The falls are what makes Brooks Camp world famous. But the bears can be anywhere. On the trail, along the beach, in the river, and at camp. Brooks Camp is truly a unique experience, and we would like to help you prepare for your time here.
These regulations and guidelines have been developed through research and years of experience specific to the bears at Brooks Camp.
We know you care about this place, and we need your help to make the special experience possible.
Our goal is to minimize the impact of our presence and to manage the risk of being so close to these amazing wild bears.
The number one way to protect bears and people is by properly managing your food. Always store your food and scented items in a food cache or building. When you're out exploring, make sure you never have any food on you. For your safety, absolutely no food, gum, candy, or drinks can be carried outside the buildings or food prep area, unless you are transporting it directly between these spaces. When it is time to eat, make sure you're inside a building or a designated picnic area. And please, keep those picnic areas clean. Wipe down tables, making sure no wash water drips on the ground. Actually, don't dump any liquids on the ground. Instead, use the sinks. And finally, be sure to close all doors and gates even if you weren't the one to open them. Bears really are everywhere, and they can surprise you. Wherever you go, keep all of your gear in hand or on you. Don't set anything down and walk away from it. A curious bear may tear these items apart in search of food or fun things to play with. When this happens, your valuables get damaged and bears learn to associate people with play items. At all times, all of your belongings should be within an arm's reach, in a building, or in a gear cache. And for what's most valuable, your little cubs, always keep them with you. They should never run or wander away. Small children should be carried in your arms or in a shoulder pack.
You're responsible for your own safety here at Brooks Camp. Whether you are just walking to the visitor center, to the lodge, or the trail to the falls, there can be bears. Stay alert at all times. You're in bear country now, so when possible, travel in groups.
Hey, you, coming through. Don't want to surprise you.
When you're on the trail, make noise by talking or singing. We've found that the human voice works best. The goal is not to scare bears away, but to avoid surprising them. If you can't see around a section of trail, you can sing or talk louder, but you don't need to yell.
What's happening with that bear?
Do you see the bear out in Oxbow Marsh?
Bear is coming up to auditorium.
Copy.
Be sure to follow the instruction of all rangers.
Hey y'all, we have a bear just up here at the junction, so we're gonna ask you guys to hold up right here for a little bit.
There may be lengthy closures due to bear activity, So make sure you allow extra time if you need to catch transportation or arrive on time for meals. If you see a bear on the trail, stay calm.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, they probably accounted it before or something. Oh, hey, there's
All right.
Whatever you do not run. That can trigger a predatory response, and you cannot outrun a bear.
There's a bear on the trail. Okay, back up.
Speak calmly and get out of the bear's line of travel. Stay together as a group. Sometimes you'll need to get off the trail completely. At all times, remain aware of the bear's location.
The elevated viewing platforms are the place to be if you really want to watch these bears pack away some calories. They are also less stressful to the bears because they keep everyone in a predictable space. Dropping anything off the viewing platforms isn't good for you or the bears. Keep your voice low and don't make loud noises that will stress or scare the bears. Be kind and respectful to your fellow bear viewers and follow any limits for how long you can stay on the viewing platform. Don't forget to turn off your camera flash. This can startle the bears. As for tripods, follow park regulations. And remember, no cheering when a bear catches a fish. If you're on an elevated walkway, keep walking. We know it's tempting to stop for pictures, but we want the bears to be comfortable going under the walkways so they can get to different food sources. Please be aware that your presence affects bears and how they use their habitat. It might be a short vacation for you, but these bears are working hard so they can survive through the winter. Never approach towards a bear. Maintain the required distance, or even further if the bear is paying attention to you. At the beach, stand or walk near the tree line to avoid creating a visual barrier. That changes the route of a bear, even if you can't see one. Photographers, stay alert. Have a spotter and use a long lens. Do not get close to the bears. Anglers, maintain your distance, keep everything on you, and be ready to break your line if a bear approaches. You may lose your fish, but you'll still have a great story to tell. Talk to a ranger for more information if you are planning to go into the backcountry, go fishing, or be in the river.
To review, during your adventures here at Brooks Camp, you can help bears in 3 ways.
Number 1, always manage your food and possessions properly.
Number 2, if you see a bear, remain calm. Do not run.
And number 3, always give bears space and avoid impacting their behavior and their habitat.
We are counting on you to follow these regulations and guidelines so that future visitors can continue to enjoy this experience. You can make it possible for us to continue this delicate balance between bears and people. By being good stewards of Brooks Camp, you help protect the amazing bears and other wild animals that live here. Thank you for joining the National Park Service in preserving this special place.